A very good afternoon, students, and let's get quickly started with part 8 of designing websites using HTML5 and CSS3. What we have done so far has been deleted. I deleted everything. So you can see that we have a plain box model now because we will be developing websites using box model. And today's layout is specifically going to be box model HTML5, and we are going to apply all the techniques for cross-browser compatibilities. We will make sure that our website is accessed or is accessible from all the browsers that are available, and our website is then first we'll try and make the box model, and we'll try and make the box model flexible afterwards, right? Because nowadays it's all about being flexible. So CSS3 introduced later on, right, that flexible model properties and every single thing, wherein we use media queries and every single thing, right? But today's video is specifically going to be about box model, right? And as you guys are aware of, that our box model will contain pure HTML5. And what are the properties? We know that once we get started, HTML5 should require this doc type HTML, and it has a prerequisite of language being set to EN. This is the culture that we speak English, right? And we need to give it meta char set UTF-8, especially if you are handling HTML5, right? And all those things that we have already discussed, and we are going to start with this wrapper here. First, we'll design all the tags and the content that is required. And let me search for something that, so I'll say COVID, COVID-19 information. I'm searching this just to store it in the database. Pandemic, right? So not database actually, because in order to develop a website, the prerequisite is content. Content is what makes website, as I've been telling you again and again, that website is about content. Content is what makes internet, right? So if it makes internet, it makes our web page. If it makes our web page, it makes our website, right? So that we can copy and we can fill all those article tags in each and everything which is required to develop our website today, right? So that's why we are going for this article in here. So let's get quickly started. Now we know that we need some article tags, we need some sections and every single thing, right? So today we are going to go with every single thing, and we are going to apply box, as I said, we are going to apply the box model. Okay, so let's get started with box model and start developing some section tags. So one, we'll go with the section tag, right? And we are going to apply some advanced techniques as well. Because why advanced techniques? Because we know that there are many sections which are meant to be styled once, right? So we cannot call each and every tag and start styling each and every tag. So that's why we are going to do that. And inside the wrapper, now what is wrapper? We call this wrapper because it's going to wrap up the entire website, right? So that's why it's always recommended to start your website with a div and make sure that you wrap up everything within that div tag. All right, and now we are going to wrap up everything in this. Okay, and what is the requirement? We require header tags. Let me quickly make this header. All right, so now we have this header tag right here, and I'll give this an ID, and I'll call this as main header, right? Since it is main header. And now what we are going to do, inside header I will have the h1 tag, right? And I will say, let me take, okay, now we are going to take, let me see any website with all those sidebars and every single thing, right? If I can find it, right? Okay, maybe this is sufficient, so let's go ahead, right, and say COVID-19. So let me check few more websites so that we can copy good enough content from those websites, right? Alright, so this one looks very good. US Embassy. It's just for content copying, so design is, and we are not going to style and do or make it look like a, a hi-fi website, because we are learning box layout today. So target today is going to be only the layouts. Okay, so let me carry on. US Embassy. Not able to copy anything actually. Okay, let me go ahead with this. Coronavirus pandemic. So let me call this in the main header. Alright, so coronavirus disease, or I can call this as CO. Let's call this COVID-19 pandemic. So this is what our header may look like. And let's quickly go to the site and refresh it. Yeah, we have the header now. Right, so now after the header section, what are we going to have is, as you know, we are going to have a navigation. Right, it's not same. You may think that it's the same thing that we had done previously. No, right, because we are going to specifically focus on the box layout today. Right, so we are having this. So let's call this top menu. Right, and close it down. Okay, so and the menu is going to take, please indent your code, navigation. Right, so navigation is going to take URL li. So first is going to be home, and then we are going to have li and about. Right, so then we are going to have cases. Right, and then we are going to have we are going to have, for example, let me see some links here that it has. Okay, COVID. So it's going to have newsroom. Newsroom is there, and notifications are there. Maybe contact us. Right, so contact us is also there. So I think it's sufficient. It should do the job. And now let's quickly move to the main section. A section can have many articles, as I said. So let me go with article number 1. All right, and as I said, an article can have headers as well, and headers can have header groups. So as I said, so I am going to have header, and this header tag belongs to article now, right? And inside, if you are having more headers, so you can go with the header group, right? And then inside that header group, you can have h1 tags, and then you can have h2 tags, right? For example, we have this right here. I need information. Okay, so this is basically right. Okay, so now this is going to be right. Please quarantine. So it's quarantine politicizing COVID-19. This is going to be the title of the article, right? And this is going to be please quarantine. The subheading, right? So it's called this WHO, World Health Organization, Director General appealed for unity, right? So this is going to be our subheading of the group. So let me quickly see the alignment. So you'll not be able to see the alignments, as you know. You're going to see that old school website today, right? Unless we go and make something very unless we style it, nothing without CSS, HTML may not be HTML. So that it's basically because of styling that we make websites, user who can say better UI or presentable in a very nice manner. All right, and now we have this header closing, and now let me have the paragraph of the header. So this is where all the main news will come about, because it's going to be the article, right? So this is where the main article is going to come. So I'll just give time, so you can see what is this. This is article 1, so I'll just keep it here. A pneumonia of unknown cases detected in Wuhan, China was first reported to the WHO country office in the China 31 December 2019. So this is going to be our paragraph of the article. So now so far we have done this one. So now article number 1 is ready, and as I said that an article is going to have not only the header but also the footer. Now in our case we are having the header group with 2 headers, and we are having a specific or a separate we can say footer with another paragraph tag, so with a p tag which is para. And now let me carry on with any paragraph here. So reported by let's say about who is written this article, right? So I can say WHO April 22 2020, so I can write it down here, right? Written by WHO, right, on April 2nd, right? So this is now the complete article. It doesn't look like an article, it just looks like any other thing that we do with HTML, but yeah, since we are supposed to make it, and we can have now as many articles as you want. For example, if it's a dynamic website and it's maintained, because we are not going to make static websites where we go inside the website and start start designing tags. So it has to be dynamic. That's why all the articles are going to take a single designing pattern, right? So it doesn't matter how many articles you have. If you keep on adding articles, those articles will automatically get the styling, right? That's what our intention is. That's what box layout is. So let me go with article. Again, article section, right? And we can have maybe the same whatever we had, the header group and every single thing. So it's better if I could, you can see this is the section, this is the article. If I can copy this and paste the second article here, and it may require to have some different status of, we cannot have this. One is USA and one is something else. Let us have this. It does not matter what you are having here. IMF and WHO make joint call to protect lives. What's IMF? I don't know. Something Indian. IMF and WHO make joint call to protect, right? Or we can say joint call for COVID-19. And it's International Monetary Fund, right? So it's nothing as that of Indians. WHO held a joint conference with IMO. So this is going to be my header 2, and now we are going to have this complete article, right? So this is going to have this complete article, and this is going to be written by IMO on April 6th, right? So now both the articles are ready and they are set to go, right? Now this is fine, so I don't have any problem, right? So you can see this right here. Yeah, absolutely fine. So this is the header, and why is H2 coming bigger than H1? So that's what my problem is, right? So let me go ahead and see this. Alright, so let's see. We have H1 here, IMF and WHO to make, and then we have H2, right? Now, do you see that H2 is coming much? I have never seen anything like this, right? In a header group, why would it's article, and then we have this complete header tag inside article, and then we have header group, and we have this h1 tag. Now why is it coming? So let me see that first. I'll delete it. I have just copied it to the clipboard so that I can paste it back. Let's go inside the wrapper and see h1 is going to be hello, and h2 is going to be hello again. So let me see how it comes. Yeah, hello comes bigger and h2 comes smaller than, yeah, that's what we want. So if I go with an header tag or maybe an article, right, inside article, does it come opposite? Right, so does it? No, it should not come opposite of what? No, okay, they can be, you can see inside article they are similar, h1 and h2. I don't know why. Okay, so article is inside section. What is happening here then? Why is it going? Maybe we'll have to style it and tell what is going to be h1 and what's that. Alright, so you can see now the moment we plan a section and then we insert article, it's actually opposite of what is happening. Right, now h2 is bigger and h1 is smaller, so then maybe we'll have to style it down, so forget it. So alright, so this is our website. Alright, and what we can do for this is make opposite of what it is. Okay, and maybe okay, now we have because we require side news so that people can choose between news as well, and for that what we may require, because a single section now has two articles, right? A single section has two articles, so I need to go outside the section and say aside. It's for side news, so I'll use this aside id is equal to side news. So it may be for side news, notifications and whatnot, whatever you think it to be. So let me use h4. Alright, in HTML5 it's actually opposite, right? h4 is going to be now more, you can see right here, it's going to be more smaller, but here in sections it's going to do the opposite, right? And news is going to be any news that you want to choose. This is a sidebar, right? So you can choose any news right here, right? And let me choose a news from the sidebar. Okay, no public transport. Okay, so let me choose no public transport services. Okay, so let me keep it just this much. Okay, then after the aside, we know that we're missing on a footer div, so we can go with footer FOO, and this is the general footer. This is not the footer of article or anything like that. Alright, so let's call this footer id is equal to main footer, so website's main footer, right? And let me give this aside an id. Yeah, aside is now here, absolutely alright, and this is my footer, and let me write copyright, copyright, and copy copyright C at, or we can say 2020 at the rate of COVID-19, maybe whatever you want. I don't know anything else at this moment in time. I have no idea. Okay, so now this is news and this is where the copyright is coming. So now we have to go with the best part, right? Which is styling, because imagine I told you, and remember I told you that we will be going with a box layout today, right? So now first things first, so I'll just go and call each and everything will have margin, because sections have, they do have some inbuilt margins, articles have some margins, ULLI has some margins. So I don't want any inbuilt margin to jeopardize my design or to disturb it. So I want to create my own, because right. So for box layout, so I'll say 0 pixels, and padding is going to be, I don't want any margin, any padding by default to my website. The moment I type this, now you can see. See how much of margins, right? How much margin and padding my website had, which I had to get rid initially so that I can style it afterwards. Because CSS is executed, what you do here can be overridden here, right? For example, if I now say It's line by line because it's the code here is interpreted, right? It's not compiled. Browser always interprets the code. There are no class files being generated. Now if I say 10 pixels and 20 pixels, right? And now if I refresh, now you can see that padding has been overridden. Now what has happened? It has overridden what earlier it was, right? Now if in case we had this earlier and now we are saying okay 0 pixels, now it is going to take the second one because it's interpreted. First line is first executed, right? Okay, and I hope you have understood it. And now then our website has no margins and no padding, so let me go and do it again. Right, H1, as I said, I need to separately define rules for H1 tag. So I can say font is going to be, I'll just use a single line now. So I'll say bold. And I want my H1 to be bold and I want it to be 20 pixels and I want font to be Arial, right? And this is all within a single line. Or you can say font family is equal to Arial, font weight is equal to bold. You can do it like this as well if you want, right? So I can say font family, that is Arial, right? And then I can say font size is 20 pixels and then you can say font weight is bold. Alright, so 3 lines or 1 line. Now you can see that it has, now we are having even H1s, right? So or you can do it in a single line, which is all 3 properties using font. Either you can use font family, font size and font weight, or you can use, let me use all 3 of them so that you remember them, right? Otherwise you'll just forget it, right? So let me use, or I will write it down here. We can use this as well, so I'll keep it, sorry, how do you comment them here? I don't know. Okay, just a moment, so I'll keep it for the later use. Okay, after H1 I can go with H2. I want the same thing, but I want H2 to be a little smaller than H1, which is 14. H2 tag. Now you can say this is H2 tag, which is quite smaller than H1 tag, so quite smaller than H1 tag. So, and I'll go and say my font family everywhere within my entire website is going to be Arial, right? And this is only Arial, so I don't require this much. This setting up the back box layout. So what we are doing, setting up the box layout. Now once you are setting up the box layout, all the properties you have, for example, we had header, right? And we had section, and now we can see we do have inside the website, we have footer div, F-O-T-E-R, footer, and then we had aside, and we had navigation, article, A-R-T-I-C-L-E, article, and we had H group. Is that what we have? Aside is there, footer is there, section, footer. Yeah, those are the containers. P is basically a text container, so I don't want to. Yeah, absolutely right. So now you can see that property has to be set because you are going with a box layout. So property has to set to block, right? I don't want my browser to display them as inline. I want my browser to display them as blocks. So I have this example for you here, right? You can clearly see what is box layout here, right? And if I go ahead and show you, this is my span and this is inline. Now the moment I say it is box, now you can see it is a separate line, so it will give us more luxury of writing right to left text. So elements in HTML are mostly inline. I tell you that all the elements are mostly inline, right? So an inline element has floating content on its left and right side, but a block element fills the entire line. As I said, a block content fills the entire line. You see, this is inline. Now it's a very small block content fills the entire line, right? and nothing can be displayed on its left or on its right, right? So display property also allows you to show or hide the element. So display block will show and display hide will hide. All right, and I don't want to display anything else. I want, because as I said, so we want to go with first box model. That's why I want everything to be displayed as a block, and then we'll go with the flexible box model. So this is very important, and this is also for cross-browser compatibilities. Right, and second thing that I'm going to show you is that older browsers may not be able to, because we know that we have this body tag here. All right, so you can see that many websites that you open, you can, whenever you open new websites or many websites are using older version of the browser, they are displayed either towards the left hand side of the browser or towards the right hand side of the browser. That is because the CSS properties are not designed, or the design of the website is not for universal, or is not as universal. Universal means even it should load from older browsers like IE7, IE8, IE9, and we will see that and different browsers and even new browsers should support the website. So for that, what I do right here, I call this body tag and I say whatever is inside the body tag. Alright, so let me go back to my page. So whatever is inside the body tag, or in here, whatever is inside this body tag, right? So align that to centers. For that we use text. So this is cross-browser compatibility, and many browsers may not understand float auto, or sorry, margin auto. Right, so if I say body margin auto, so it's not going to understand that. So many browsers may not understand it. That's why we say text align to center. And the second thing that I'll say, background color is going to be light, because we are just going with a lighter design this time, so I don't want any. Alright, so this is my background color. So instead of background, go with background color. So now styling of body is done. All right, now you can see that everything is in the center. The moment I said body text align center, everything has floated in the center. So now we are trying, or we have started to set up the box layout. Doesn't mean that everything is falling in place, right? So things may not fall in place unless you make them fall in place. So for that we have to do many things, but these are very important things, right? Okay. And now after that I have my wrapper. Now I'll call pound wrapper, right? And let me say border, right? 1 pixels solid hash triple C. I want to give it a gray border, and it is visible now. You can see I like the border is here, and I want to go with the width. I'll not go with percentage this time, so I'll go with 1200 pixels. Right, so now you can see it's 1200 pixels, right? And what I say, margin, and I say margin, give margin 20 pixels from top, right? Because it's actually overlap towards the top, my entire div. I say from top I want 20 pixels margin, and rest I want auto. From left, bottom, I want auto, but I want 20 pixels margin. And now what you have seen today here, that instead of going with two things, like first setting the margin top, then margin bottom, you can do it in a single line. Margin top 20 pixels, top is 20 pixels, right, left, and bottom is automatic, so that it is adjustable from the browser. You can see that once we have, we're not basically, once we are defining or using 1200 pixels instead of percentage, we're using pixels, so it's not going to adjust automatically. So that's not our mission today. Flexible design is going to be maybe within 2 classes or after 2 classes. Box layout is the mission today, right? So please do and practice as I say, and you'll be learning that flexible model as well. So this is top. I want from top 20 pixels, and from all the sides I want auto. But since now my body, now look, the trick is not that you are aligning everything inside body towards the center. Yeah, it is aligned, but now actually your entire website is inside this wrapper. You can see the wrapper starts here and finishes here. So everything that is designed, or everything in here, you can see if I delete everything, you see wrapper remains here. So every single thing is inside wrapper div. Everything is wrapped up inside wrapper div, or we can say wrapper is the parent of all the tags which follow, right? And for that, what I do, I'll say wrapper, hey wrapper, would you do something, right? Text align to left, align text to left. Now you can see you're aligning text back to left. Now what is the fun of aligning text first to center, right? We said body, align everything to center. It's the body tag which aligning everything to center, means it doesn't matter, right? Whichever browser you browse our website from is going to align, right, the divs and everything to center first, so that the website is not floated towards the left or the right side using older browsers or maybe few newer browsers. So that's why telling to body, the first align everything to text line will actually align everything, be it a div, be it anything. So it's aligning towards the center, and then you go to wrapper and say wrapper, since you carry everything, you are the parent of all the content my web page has, right? You align it to bus, okay? You align it to the left hand side, right? So now you can see that we are first aligning to center, then aligning to left hand side. Now we have margin 20 pixels, you can clearly see from top side, right? And everything is absolutely, and we didn't go for, I didn't go for what do you call that, minimum height or maximum height. I want that height to be automatically taken, since we can see that height is automatically taken. So okay, fine. I hope you understood this, right? So let's start styling the header, and for that I'll say hash top, what was that, main header. Okay, let's go and say hash main header, right? So I'll say background is going to be hash. Okay, let me even take the background of wrapper. So I'll say background is going to be hash triple F, which is white. And here I don't want, okay, let me just, for the sake of alignment, so I'll say background red, so that I know that's being aligned. Now okay, this is the header, and this is the rest, right? So these are the rest of the things. Let it be border bottom or 1 pixels hash triple C solid. I don't want to give let me get rid of this background here. I don't want to give entire border, because since I know top, left and right already has border, that's why I'm using only border bottom. All right, is that clear? No height used, so I'm not going to use any height here. All right, and I will use padding of 20 pixels, and then depending on the content it has, so it is going to set up everything as per the content, right? So that's what I want. I was going to use the height as per the content, right? Okay, so now this is my header for the box layout ready, right? And after that I have menu. What is that menu? Top menu, right? So let me quickly go and align this top menu, and for top menu I will say background, let me choose it this time more bluer. All right, and since I've chosen the background and color, I will say white. Let me see now. Yeah, so since my top menu is absolutely fine, my favorite one, I'll say letter spacing. I don't intend doing this because I don't want to style may be a bit bad, right, or it may not be as good as previous designs, right, because today our main motto is layouts, not design, but still, it's in my blood. Right, and so top menu is absolutely fine, so we don't have to do anything with top menu, since we have already done margin 0 and padding 0 to everything in the website, so I don't have to go with margin 0 here. So that's done universally, that's already done, right? So now I can say hash top menu has UL, and that has li. So I don't want to do anything with UL because margin is already set to 0, so there's no fun calling the UL now. I'm calling li directly, top menu li. So top menu is the navigation name, it has li, and I'll say display, and I'll also use inline block. I don't want to display it only inline, I want it to be inline, but I want it to be just like a block. You can see this plain line block has done it for us, right? And I'll also say list style is none, so I'm using list style none here. No list style is used. Okay, and let me give padding of 10 pixels perhaps. Will it suffice? Yeah, padding of 10 pixels is quite okay. And let me use what else can we use here? Let's say border dash right 1 pixels solid. So I'll go towards the lighter side, maybe that may suffice. Yeah, maybe it's not visible at all. RI, how do you spell right? Gosh, I don't remember spelling, or maybe I forget writing. Too much concerned about your design. Okay, fine. That's still not coming. So if I say FFF, which is FFF is FFF. Yeah, you can see that it's clearly coming. But I'll not use this, right? Since I've chosen maybe this, and I'll go towards the lighter side. I'll keep it bluish but slightly lighter so that it's visible as well. Yeah. So now everything is fine. My menu is here. Letter spacing is here. Now I'll say font size 12 pixels. Now maybe, and I will say text dash transform to uppercase, right? Okay, you will become familiar of this slowly and steadily, right? Okay, let's not focus on design. I just get diverted at times from a mission. The mission today is not the design, it's the layout. Okay, since now menu is ready, and now we know that we have this main section in here, right? So we have this main section, right? And this is the section, and we call this, where's the section? Okay. Alright, so there we have this section. We had to give it name perhaps. We didn't give it ID, right? So that we have only one section right here, which is going to be the content. So I'll say section content. Alright, so this is going to be the section which is going to take all the content, right? So we have to style it. And that is the last call to ID. Because now everything is inside the section, we'll be dealing with sections accordingly, because we don't have to call sections directly, or we don't have to, name everything or give ID to every single thing that we have. So we'll handle it accordingly. All right, now section, I will say, hey section, will you flow towards left? The moment I say hey section, because it's a box layout, the moment I say section, flow towards left, and guess what? Nothing happens. The section ID is here because it's already floating towards left. Yeah, because it's already floating towards the left. And I'll say width. I'm going to give you specific width, which is 700 pixels. Now, what is the total width of my wrapper? Which is total width of the wrapper is 1200 pixels, and what I do right here is I'll say 1180 pixels. Okay, why 1180 pixels? Now you can see that you have a total width that is set, that is how much, right? So that is 1200, right? And yeah, so that is. Now I have to give margin also, right? Right and left I have to give. So let me refresh it. Width is going to be 1180 till here, maybe, who knows? All right, not 1180. So let me give it 780. So let me give 780 and say margin 30 pixels, right? So I'll give it margin 30 pixels as well. The moment I do this, now you can see I didn't type float left. I didn't type here float left, float right. Now you can see this aside automatically floated towards right. So this is the magic of box layout, right? This is automatically going to flow towards right. The moment I said, now you can see this right here. How much is 730? 780 plus 30, 780 plus 30 is going to be 810. So let me comment it out for you right here. So it's going to be 810 pixels. So you are using total 810 pixels, and you are leaving now when you say, let's go and calculate it, 1000, what is the total width, which is 1200 pixels, right? I'll say minus how much has section content used, 780, plus the margin of 30 pixels is going to be 800 and 810. 30 from left hand side, 30 from right hand side, maybe, who knows. Yeah, it's going to be from both sides, so sorry, my mistake. The total width is 780 pixels. Margin left is 30, because you are not telling margin left and margin right. Margin means all sides will take same margin. Since we are not concerned about the margin bottom, we are concerned about margin left and margin right here. And if you see this, 780 plus 30 plus 30, so that is going to be, again let me do it here, 780 plus 30 plus 30, and it's going to be 840 instead of 810. It's going to be 840. And now the total area of the wrapper is 1200 pixels, and I'll say minus 840 pixels, which is going to be 360. So now how much is left from the right side? 360 is still left. This is box layout for you. What you are telling, that section is going to utilize, and its first section is floating towards the left, and it is utilizing the space which is 780 pixels, and it has margins from top, from bottom, from right and left, 30 pixels. If I take this margin away, now you can see this, right? It does not give those margins, right? So now once I say margins, you can see all the sections, or all four sides are taking the margin. I don't know, it's basically being cached at times. Your website is cached. Okay, maybe it has this, yeah, it's basically having this. So now you can see this margin. So the moment I say margin, 30 pixels from here, 30 pixels from here, 30. Now still you can see from this side you have some space available. That's why it has automatically floated towards the right. So now what you see, a side has automatically floated towards the right, because section content has floated towards left, and section has everything. Now that's why I say it's a box layout. Section has everything. Section has article 1, article 2, right? And section does not have a side. I remember, if I go back and show you, that section does not carry a side and does not carry footer. Now you will say, sir, why has it gone outside the wrapper div? Should I give height to wrapper and say minimum height and maximum height? No, in box layout we don't do that, right? What you need to do now, since everything is done, right, and what is basically the name of a side here? Yeah, it's side news. So now I'll call side news directly, and I'll say, hey, side news, right? Would you mind if you float towards left? Now imagine both floating towards left, right? Side news floating towards left. Now you can see, the moment side news floats towards left, it has overridden copyright. Copyright has come here. So forget about that now, because floating towards left means it is already towards right. It's towards extreme right. Can you see this? It's towards extreme right, and what it has done, it has also included the copyright. Copyright should come somewhere in the center here. Alright, so what I do here, I'll say, hey, float, hey side, please float towards left, because the area that you are having is still 280 pixels. Is that what the area was? Yeah. So will you please float towards left? Now it's floating towards left, right, within the given area it's having. So don't worry, right? And I'll give it width. So I'll say width, you still have 320 pixels available maybe. So I'll say take 300 pixels width. Now you can see that. Now what was the available width? Okay, let me see that. 300 and, okay, let me open the calculator. 780 plus 60, 780 plus 60 is equal to 840, right? And now total is 1200, and I say minus 360. So we have 360 available. So I will say width is equal to 350, or I can exactly say 360, right? But even now it has 360. If you give 1 pixels of border, now if I give 361, now you can clearly see it's going to come down here, right? Because we have done our mathematics right. If total is 1200 pixels, and then it is going to come down here, right? And it's going to go, everything is going to go out, because you have total width available is 360. Now even if 1 pixels of border is going to make it out, so we're not going to do that this time, right? All right, now so since it is done, and the second thing that I'm going to do is width is 600. Okay, let me give margins. So I need my side news to have margin top of 20 pixels and 0 pixels from, you can see it has from top. Now it's exactly the same. It has 20 pixels from top, and there's no margin from left hand side, and there's no margin from right hand side. Because if you give margin of 1 pixels even from right hand, it's going to come down because it has utilized the total space, right? So from top you can manage margin, or either you can say margin top only, so that's also good. So now let me give margin and padding. Now imagine padding is internal and margin is external, as I said. So padding is not going to do anything here, right? So let me see, padding is going to be 30 pixels. Why? What has happened here? Maybe 340. Padding also at times increases it, okay. Since now the padding is 30 pixels, width is we have 320 pixels maybe. Now 320 is going to be too much, and 305, you'll have to do your mathematics for that. I just, okay, let us keep it 300, because 300 makes it 320, 20 pixels of width also, 300 plus 20 pixels of width, 30 pixels padding, sorry. Yeah, so now it's towards the right hand side, absolutely fine. And let me say it has a background color, right? And I will say it has slightly grayish. Okay, I'll use just white, almost white, could say, and that will be using almost white. So you can say that this is almost white. Okay, now it's still floating towards here, because I said float left, so I'll say 290 pixels. So okay, now you can see if I don't say float left, it's not going to come exactly where it is, right? You can see that you have to give some margin here. And the last but not the least, so I'll call the footer. And what do you call footer? As the footer is main footer, so now we'll say hash main footer. Now you can see, because now the footer is aligned somewhere here. Now what do you want to say? Footer is also taking some margins from here. So what do you say? Because footer is also in the wrapper div. So I say footer, please clear all the margins. So we'll say clear both. Now we are clearing all the formatting to the footer. The moment I clear, you can see everything is falling into place. No minimum and maximum height being played here. No HTML4 styles, right? The moment I say, hey footer, clear the formatting that you are having. You're already, I never said to float towards left. Did I tell footer to float towards right? No, still it floated towards right, because it was taking some styling from the side, right? So I said clear all the margins. And the second thing that we want from you is text align center. I want you to come in the center. What are you doing here? Now footer is aligned towards the center, right? Okay, and now what I want at the end of the day is, let me take a look at time. So it's already been 50 minutes today. Oh, I didn't understand, I didn't realize it. Okay, now so far you have understood it. In case if you've not understood anything or you're having any doubts, what you can do, inbox or let me know down in the comment section. I shall be answering quickly, or you can message me right? Until then, practice this. I suppose you have understood everything. Box layout for you, and we'll be doing flexible boxing inshallah in the coming classes. Until then, bye bye, take care, see you.